Well, hello, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Welcome to How To with Mia and Ziad. If you aren't already subscribed, I highly encourage you to tap that subscribe button on YouTube and to follow us on all of our other social media accounts under the handle Gerber Kawasaki. Now, today, we are going to be talking about retirement, which is so exciting, but it actually is. So there's been a lot of buzz on the internet about Roth IRAs, and for good reason. They're pretty sweet. So we're here to bust some myths about them and to give you a comparison of other retirement options so that you know what is out there. This is intended for informational purposes only. None of this should be taken as personal advice. We're giving comparisons, but please talk to your financial advisor to figure out what the best accounts and plans are for you.
That's right. We've done an episode on this before, but we wanted to clean it up, give you guys a refresher on retirement accounts overall, especially with the tax deadline coming up so soon. We wanted to make sure you're aware of what kind of accounts you can be setting up for yourself, what you can be doing to make sure you're maximizing your future. Let's get into it. The most popular type of retirement account out there is a 401k. It's an account that's set up through your work. Your employer is going to set it up for you. Any contributions made into this account are coming out of your paycheck before you even see it, which is great because it forces you to automatically save and be more consistent about growing funds for those later years. Now, the benefit of a 401k is the fact that your employer will usually match those contributions. That's great because that's free money going towards your retirement. Now, the downside is that there's a limitation in investment options to be made in that account. You usually get to choose from a selection of 10 to 15 options, and that's about it. Now, you can contribute up to $19,500 a year into this 401k. And if you're over 50 years old, you can make catch-up contributions of an additional $6,000. So that means you can contribute up to $25,500 a year into this retirement account.
An IRA is another account that allows you to save for retirement, but you set it up on your own. So you can still contribute to your 401k and have an IRA. So what are some of the differences between the two in matching, in investment options, and in contributions? Well, since it's not an employee-sponsored plan, you're not going to receive matching. And besides being tax advantaged, a huge incentive for IRAs are the investment options. They're pretty much unlimited. You can invest in individual securities like stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, and more. You can contribute up to $6,000 a year in your IRA, and if you are over 50, then you can make catch-up contributions, which can go all the way up to $7,000.
Now, the more commonly known type of contribution is your pre-tax or traditional contribution. What happens here is when you contribute into your retirement account, you're not paying taxes on those contributions. You're actually most likely going to pay less taxes the year you contribute because you can potentially get tax deductions. So you pay less taxes when you contribute. That money is going to grow without paying any taxes on it, but then those taxes come due when you withdraw the money. Now, to incentivize you to keep this money in the account until your retirement years, if you withdraw any funds before you're 59 and a half years old, you'll not only have to pay regular income taxes on these funds, you'll also have to pay an additional 10% tax penalty. That is a huge tax bill that you want to avoid. So make sure that if you're putting money in this account, it is geared towards retirement. The last thing to know also with pre-tax contributions specifically is the fact that once you are over 70 and a half years old, you will be required to take required minimum distributions in order for the government to be able to collect at least some taxes on the funds that you've been pushing taxes off on and growing for retirement.
So there's a couple types of IRAs, and I don't know that we specified that earlier on. So one type in particular is a Roth IRA. Now with a Roth IRA, all of your contributions are made post-tax. And what this does is it lets your money grow tax-free. Then when you pull your money out for retirement, that money is withdrawn tax-free as well. If you are young, setting up a Roth IRA can set you up for a good retirement. If you don't like paying taxes now, you're probably not going to like them when you're in an even higher tax bracket. So now I also want to clear up some myths going on about Roth IRAs. A lot of people seem to think that you can't pull money out from your Roth before you're 59 and a half. But that's only partially true. So You can actually withdraw your contributions that you made to your Roth IRA at any time, tax and penalty free. But if you withdraw your earnings early, that's when you're going to get smacked with that 10% tax penalty fee.
If you're a business owner without any employees, setting up a 401k doesn't really make a lot of sense. It costs too much, it takes too much administrative work, you have a lot more regulation on it. So if you don't have any employees under you, a Sep Ira is a great option to make sure that you're still contributing for retirement. What you can do here is you can contribute up to 20 to 25% of your net business income towards a retirement account dedicated to you. And you'll get deductions on those contributions you make into the Sep IRA. So think of it as a traditional or pre-tax contribution into a regular IRA, but with the ability to contribute a lot more. The maximum you can contribute into this account is around $57,000 to $58,000, depending on tax code. If you are looking to figure out the exact dollar amount you can contribute, talk to an accountant who can give you tax-specific advice.
So similar, but different. There's another option for our self-employed and business owner folk, and that is an individual 401k. The individual 401k has a higher contribution limit than the Sep IRA, and they also allow for contributions by both the employer and the employee, unlike the Sep IRAs, which is funded by the employer contributions alone.
If you're looking to set up a retirement account or are looking to boost your retirement savings, do not hesitate on this. This is something that you want to set up as soon as you can. What most people don't know is that up until April 15th, the tax deadline, you can still make contributions into your IRAs for 2020. So in your traditional, your Roth, or even your Sep IRA, you can track back and make sure you're maximizing those previous year contributions first and then start contributing for 2021. This is a key thing to keep in mind so that way you make sure that you're maximizing as much as you can towards those retirement years.
Well, thank you again for joining us on another episode of How To with Mia and Ziad. Like I said at the beginning, make sure that you're hitting that subscribe button on our YouTube and you're following us on our other social media accounts under Gerber Kawasaki. Please give us suggestions for next week's episode. We'd love to hear them, and we'd love to hear any questions that you have about this week's episode. You can also give us a call at 310-441-9393. And I hope to see you next week. Peace.
See y'all next week.